Welcome back, guys. It's good to see you back again. This trip we're in Victoria, but nope, we're not doing the high country again. We're going to show you that Victoria's got so much more to offer than just that, and we're mixing it with a good old-fashioned pub crawl. What more could anyone ask for? The Southern Ocean. That's all there is for hundreds, thousands of kilometres between here, the shipwrecked coast, and the savage land that's Antarctica. It's hard not to be buoyed by this glacial breeze and by the view that's before us. The 12 apostles are a reminder that time's fleeting because there's only 8 left standing. We'd better keep Gleno away from them. If he even sneezes in the wrong direction, we could be walking away from the last 7. These guys can tick this off their bucket list now. I'm glad they've got to see it. It's such an awesome place.
Roothy's climbing sand dunes, Gleno's crossing creeks, Kenno's kept out yonder and it could be there for weeks. They're on an adventure, that is nothing strange. They love forward travel, living life in LowRange.
On this leg of our adventure, we're right down the bottom of Australia on the Great Ocean Road. We're going to explore the Great Otway National Park before heading north to the Kinglake area. And after that, we head to Western Victoria to the majestic Grampians. We're going to put away some Ks and we're going to see some great country whilst we do it too. Hey guys, it's nice to be in Victoria. Isn't this beautiful?
Beautiful part of the world, John. Watching that sunset down at 12 Apostles last night was unreal, mate. I definitely had to stick around and watch it happen. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I think, one of my issues has been for years, everybody thinks when they think four-wheel drive in Victoria, they just think about the high country, and there's so much more to Victoria. I mean, kicking off with the 12 Apostles, we're going to go and find a few places that people aren't used to, I reckon. Show the other side of Victoria.
So what else you got in store for us, John?
One of the things everybody knows about down here is the great pubs in Victoria. So I figured we might try and work out a few trails in between the pubs so we can combine a couple of our favourite interests.
Gentlemen, I have a little gem in store for you guys too. I haven't mentioned it to you yet.
Oh, righto. Don't know about that, mate. Is this before or after the pub crawl?
Remember that comfort zone thing? You've got to get out of it. And I hear there's a few knowers down this way, so that's something we're going to have to look out for.
I reckon there's a couple of other things you should look out for, Kenno.
Kenno, he does some wonderful things. He makes me laugh a lot.
Is that how you get the motorbike off?
Yeah, that's it, mate.
Our first recovery ever on a bitumen road, and it's right outside the Beachy Hotel.
Sometimes I wonder what's going on in that head of his.
Hope you didn't shake the beer up.
I think they just whip a snip across the top of that culvert, and it's the same level as all the other grass. But we sure found out that it was a good hole.
This recovery should take about, until dark, maybe?
Okay, you got tension there, mate.
Let's go.
Yay! Too easy, mate.
Beautiful.
Hang on, mate. Keep going. We'll proceed to closer to the pub door, I reckon.
Then we'll just stay there.
We figured we'd better keep on going. We've got a lot of tracks to see. The Great Ocean Road is just incredible, really. I mean, on one side you've got these wonderful mountains and forests, and on the other side you've got that wonderful turquoise sea with the sort of endless breakers, and then down the middle you've got this squiggle that's you heading somewhere. It's just got to be one of the best places on earth. The Great Ocean Road. Not many people know it's the world's largest war memorial. It was built by 3,000 returned soldiers from the hell of World War I and dedicated to all their fallen comrades. Before the road was built, the southwest coast was only accessible by boat or by rough bush track. I'll tell you what though, it was a happy day during construction in 1924 when a steamboat became stranded and had to jettison 500 barrels of beer and 120 cases of spirits. This resulted in an unscheduled 2-week drinking break. And you know what? I reckon those blokes would have bloody deserved it too.
So right from the start, we've
Gleno
decided
loves pies.
wherever there's a pie
Absolutely
shop,
loves
we're
them.
gonna
Can't
rate
go
the
past
pies.
a pie shop.
Gleno loves pies, and Kenno, he's much the same. He loves pies too. Me, of course, for me, it's just a professional interest. I knew a baker once.
Yes, I would love the chicken, leek and Swiss cheese pie, please.
Beef and Guinness, please.
And I'll have a plain beef, please. Both in bags. Plain beef.
Oh, look at the cheesy bits in there.
That's pretty good.
This isn't bad. I'm going to give it a 6. 6 out of 10. I've had a couple of decent pies in my life. This isn't bad.
I can taste the Guinness, so that's a plus in a beef and Guinness pie. I'm reckon 7.
Whoa. What do you think, Glenn?
I'll give this 6.5.
Whoa.
6.5.
So how many bakeries do you reckon you've tried out?
Mate, this is my first time.
Gleno loves pies. I think he's a bit of a junkie. He lines them up and snorts them.
Well, we were just taking a track through the state forest and we found this beaut little turn off to one side, and straight away it just looked like it had to be a bit of a challenge.
The track wasn't on the map, decided to just rip the bike off, do a bit of exploring, put the bike through first, relay a bit of information back to the boys.
I want to poke up here and have a bit of a look, see what you teams are in for, eh?
Give us the good news, mate.
Oh, it was really cool to see Kenno bring the bike. I mean, you know, last time he bought his surfboard, this time he bought his surfboard and his bike and his fishing rods. The guy's into everything. It's cool.
How you going up there, Kenno?
Yeah, gents, the first bit of clay pack was a bit hairy on the bike, but you guys have got 2 more wheels than I do, you should be right.
All right, mate. We'll poke up this first bit, so don't come back in a hurry.
Well, that just turned to slush straight away.
That is slippery. Oh,
Second time round, I put a bit more pressure on the right foot.
okay, interesting to see how the disco goes.
Oh, disco. This will be interesting. Holy moly! Get a load of that.
Woohoo! Hey, I put the mud setting on and came up.
Oh, look at that!
I'm as amazed as what you are, mate.
On the last trip, Gleno didn't have the best experience with the Discovery off-road, so this time he's going to experiment more with the features to try and get it right. Looks like it's happening already.
It was awesome. Nice little erosion humps, a few jumps, that sort of thing. Basically threw it all at me. It was great. Enjoyed it. Worthwhile bringing the bike.
Yeah, that's it, Roothy. You'll get there one day, mate. Whoa, careful, Gleno. Don't go scratching up the nice little landy.
The red cedars were amazing. It was like you were standing in the land of the giants or something like that.
Oh, look. Californian redwoods. Sequoia sempervirens.
Sequoia sempervirens.
Sequoia sempervirens. Very nice.
There's something a little bit spooky about those red cedars, you know? I mean, they just stretch so far up into the sky. And then you've got this canopy right up the top.
They're all about the same height, but they're different widths.
Yeah, look at the size of these babies on the outside, it's so thick.
Yeah.
Obviously the ones in the middle want to shoot up to get their own bit of sunlight.
Yeah.
You would stand at the bottom of the tree and dead set, put your arms all the way across, and these trees were wider than your arm span. And then you'd look up and it was just trunk all the way until it got to the canopy and just curtains of green. And they just went on and on and on. They were unreal. John, you with that stick, you remind me of Gandalf.
Oh, gee, thanks a lot, mate. The only difference between me and Gandalf, he was really clever. But apart from that, yeah, I can see the similarities, yeah.
Yeah, but Gandalf didn't need a stick because he blew a knee kickstarting his Harley either, did he?
Something very elemental, very ancient about a forest like that.
Koalas are a very well-known animal here in Australia, but it's also very rare, but super special when you see them in the wild.
They don't quite make the noise you'd expect of them though, do they?
Yeah, this guy will get better, but he's been whopped. Probably by a car or something, not too hard, but his back right leg's a bit sad and he's dragging himself along a little bit. So, best thing to do is leave him alone. Pack up and go.
We camped last night by the Eyre River. It's a beautiful place to camp, but I can tell you what, with Gleno snoring a few metres away and the koalas growling all over the place, it's lucky I've got earplugs. Oh, the serenity though.
Campsite at Eyre River. We got in there late, so we didn't really get to check it out, but in the morning I had a bit of a look around and I had some pilchards. Decided to have a bit of a fish, flicked out a pilchard, then tasted the water and realised it was fresh. Wasn't tidal at all, so the pilchard, that's pretty much hopeless.
I'll tell you something that doesn't happen very often. That's Kenno being the first to wake up. When I had wafts of caffeine and then bacon make its way over to the swag, well, I just presumed it was Glenn making brekkie. Oh well, there's a first for everything, eh?
Kenno.
Morning,
Morning.
how we going?
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm cooking brekkie.
I think I like you.
Well, how come you're up so early, mate? What's going on?
We've got a big day today. I got something planned.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What have you got planned? Fishing?
I'm not telling you, you'll find out when we get there.
Is it
Yeah.
stupid?
Probably.
Yeah.
This looks good, doesn't it? What's he doing?
Oh, bit of cheese.
Kenno up first. Something's wrong, mate. This is not good. Oh, geez, thanks, Kenno. What do you reckon he's got in mind, mate? Shark fishing?
I'm worried now.
I'm really worried.
I'm really worried.
I'm excited.
Whoa, I'm hungry, but.
Hey, don't lose all your energy on the ground.
There's something fishy going on.
Kenno kept going on all the time about this surprise he had in store for us. Didn't know what to expect.
What do you got in mind here, Kenno? I've done this kayaking boat thing before.
Out on those rocks out there's about 223 and a half seals.
Fair dinkum.
Fair dinkum.
Good on 'em.
What if one of them gets in the boat?
They won't. They might come up to a couple of metres away from you and have a bit of a look. That's about it.
Sure?
Sure. Just don't fall in. Big sharks. That's what they eat. Seals.
It's a very well-known fact that I have a fear of sharks. And it's also a very well-known fact where there's seals, there's sharks.
Come on, guys. It's all about getting out of your comfort zone. Let's get out there.
You out of your comfort zone, mate.
Comfort zone and there's a stupid zone.
After we carefully listened to our guide Tim on how to use these things, we were off. It was actually a lot easier than it looks.
Kenno, you're an idiot.
Colder on the, you know whaties though, but you get that sometimes.
And I was pretty sure the paddling out bit would put John out of his comfort zone. Turned out he didn't paddle at all.
Yeah, I really enjoyed paddling out, mostly because the only time I pretended to paddle was when Tim, our guide, was watching me.
Paddling out was all good, but it felt like I was dragging an anchor. And I think that anchor was Gleno in the back of the kayak.
I should have belted him with my paddle.
At first, I thought, wow, wonder how they go with a bit of garlic and butter. But I've got to admit, there was something fairly special about it.
When we got out to the seals, they did this big stampede across the rocks, come diving into the water, started coming up beside us and all that sort of thing. It was unreal.
During the 1800s, the Australian fur seals were heavily hunted for their coats, and during that time, the population dropped from several 100,000 to about 20,000. These days, they're a protected species, and they're starting to make a recovery.
Sam was giving us a rundown on, you know, the seal populations and why those seals were there and all that sort of thing. But I was thinking, how good would it be to throw on a mask and dive in and swim with them?
And their number one enemy is the shark. So somewhere around there, there's sharks. Kenno goes and jumps straight in.
See ya, Kenno. Idiot. I know, that's so close.
Kenno didn't jump into the water. I was going to push him because it was very unstable.
Swimming with the seals was unreal. I don't know if you've ever been diving, but once you're under the water, everything's quiet. You can't hear anything. All you can hear is what is happening under the water. So you can hear the seals making all their noises, and they were so intrigued by what I was and that sort of thing. So they'd come up on their backs and they'd just look back at me with their big beady eyes, and then even just seeing the air come out of the seals when they were breathing out and following that to the surface was a spectacle, let alone just being with the seals themselves. Unbelievable. Best thing I've ever done in my life, I reckon.
He's a risk taker, Kenno, but it pays off too. Good one, mate. And now, back to what we do best. There's no sharks out here.
So we've decided to take the back way through the Lorne, and next thing, as with all backtracks, just turns into mud puddles, endless mud puddles.
Bit of mud coming up, guys. Might have to hit it a bit.
Roger that.
Ah, Gleno's going to love this, I reckon.
Gleno hates mud, gets his pretty disco all dirty.
I hate mud. It gets into wheel bearings, it gets into seals, it ruins alternators. I have a real hate for driving through mud. It's just a mechanic's worst nightmare. But we had to go through it. It was actually fun in the end.
Kenno! No way, mate. That was wicked.
Bit more fun up here too, guys.
The Great Ocean Road certainly is beautiful, but the back roads are much more up our alley.
Oh, that was awesome. Bit smelly, but awesome.
Just like a border gate. You know, the Otways are full of beautiful waterfalls, but there's one in particular I figured we shouldn't miss.
I've seen some beautiful, beautiful little corners tucked away in this country, and Hopeton Falls is right up there with the best of them.
Oh, wow. Bit late of that.
It was a big walk down to the Hopeton Falls, but it was really well worth it. To be in that gorge, watching the water crashing down and running through all those rocks, it was very relaxing.
I just love the sound of the water flowing, that sort of thing. So I decided to have a lie down and just take in the sounds and all that sort of thing, you know.
For me, that was like a little slice of Tasmania, because that's the kind of country you expect to see in Tasmania.
Back on the road and the sunlight's gradually fading, but there's still enough light for one more track, I reckon.
Hey guys, this looks pretty interesting here. Want to go for a drive?
Interesting as in?
Wow, this has been cut by coilies, I'd reckon. Don't know if I should be here. Don't know if you should be here either, Kenno.
She'll be right, mate. I'm keen for a drive.
It gets very interesting up here. I'll tell you what, Gleno, do you reckon you could spot me on this, mate?
Yeah, mate, I'll grab the handhold.
Oh, don't worry about that. It just got very soft. Oh, this is amazing. I don't know how long I can do this for. I'm doing a crab along here. This is kind of weird. Whoops.
There you go. He's in.
Good work.
Has the Range Rover got a super deep poo button, Glenn?
It is in the poo mode, all ready to go. Whoa! That came down hard.
Yeah, mate, you just slid straight in.
With some deep ruts, jacked the suspension up on the disco, and it walked through fine.
So far, so good.
I'll put it through its paces, through mud, sand, everything, and it's performed extremely well. Even Roothy has been impressed. Now that's saying something.
No drama, Kenno. I reckon you go straight to ruts on that, mate. No drama.
Roger that. Might throw a locker or two in, I think. Incoming Kenno. These ruts are deep. Oh, that was the belly hitting down. Coming with me, caravan, whether you like it or not.
Oh, look at that. The Hilux tows that van through like it's nothing. Must have cleared the way for him, eh?
Dude.
I tell you what, it was great getting into Lorne. We drove around the corner and there was this big old mansion with a pub.
The Grand Pacific in Lorne. I don't know why they call it Grand Pacific, because it's on the Southern Ocean. But geez, it's grand.
Originally it was built in 1875 and the quote, the builder's quote to do it was £12,000. And no surprise, just like today, it cost twice as much, £24,000. Wasn't that the best 24,000 quid ever? And originally, the only access was by boat.
The people there, they just looked after us. Great place to start a pub crawl.
You know, when they built this pub, 140 years ago it would have been, 1875, there was no road here, there was just a dirt track. And most of the stuff was boated in. In fact, most of the people were boated in. They didn't even have that pier down there. So I'm up on the Grand Pacific balcony, totally relaxed, and I hear this laugh. By the time it was finished,
Mate,
I thought, no way, can't be.
sounds like a bloke I know in Brisbane.
Yeah, I was just going to say, mate, here we are, furthest end of Victoria. That sounded just like feral. Couldn't be. No, couldn't be. Anyway, where were we?
As soon as you hear it, you know who it is. It's like a fingerprint.
No, it can't. No.
No, mate, no.
I don't think we believed it. We thought we were in a dream or something. Next thing he comes wandering over.
You kidding me? The people you meet on tour. Gleno, how are you, mate? Shove over, eh? Come on. Come on, shove over. How are you, boys?
He'd laugh at anything. He laughs at anything.
Mate, I am on a whirlwind tour of Australia. I've started up a great new website called leisuresales.com.au. Mate, it is the place to sell everything outdoors.
And all he wants me to do is get on it so I can upgrade the car. That's coming from someone who owns a Nissan.
Mate, you can sell anything outdoors.
I mean, he does all my money stuff, you know, like I've borrowed hundreds of dollars off him to buy trucks in the past.
Carol, I'm low. Go shout.
Righto, I'll be back with a couple of freshies. See you later.
Yeah, righto. Come on, I'm getting out of here.
It'll be good.
Let's hide.
I'm constantly humbled by the beauty of this country, and I'm constantly humbled by the tenacity of our people. We're leaving the south now and heading northeast to an area in Victoria that made headlines around the world 6 years ago. Yep, February 7th, 2009. It'll go down in history as one of Australia's worst bushfires. More than 2,000 homes were burnt and 173 people lost their lives.
The memorial listed some of the people who'd passed away, and that really brings it to life when you see families, kids. But I guess the guts of those communities, the way in just 5-6 years they've just rebuilt the place. They're not moving out just because of a bushfire. That takes a lot of guts.
It's something that no Australian ever wants to see again. And let's hope it never ever happens again.
The firestorm that day is said to have been so powerful, the heat equalled 500 atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima. Witnesses said the noise was like 100 steam trains, that the ground shook, that houses weren't burning, they were exploding.
Gee guys, plenty of signs of the big fires through here, hey?
Very humbling to look at those statistics on that memorial up there. It, took a lot to hold back there.
When I was looking at the memorial, I honestly had to walk away, and I did shed a tear because I read on there was some kids that lost their lives in the fires that are pretty much the same age as my kids at home, and that's what sort of brought it home to me.
People shouldn't have to go through that.
All right.
Well, mate, flying tarts. We're in the right place.
Best sausage roll in Victoria. Let's see how their pies are, eh?
Keep me away. Mrs. won't be happy.
Okay, guys, you ready?
Yeah.
For what we are about to receive.
Hurry up. No, I'll do it the Aussie way.
Oh.
Well.
Okay, now remember, when you're talking to the handbrake, okay, lettuce sandwich.
Yeah.
You did ask for a salad.
Lettuce, wholemeal lettuce sandwich.
That's a salad pie, isn't it?
Salad pie.
I think for my potato pie, I'm going to have to give it a 9.5.
Wow. Well, I'm cranking along my plain meat pie. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Well, this steak, bacon and cheese would have to be the best pie I've tasted in many, many years. 8.3.
8.3.
This is 0.2 because of the beetles on there.
You got the Beatles again.
And I'll tell you what, there's no chance of getting a mouthful of that one, Kenno.
You chew my arm off.
More inside.
The Talangi State Forest is well known in the area for offering a variety of four-wheel drive tracks. This track should work out as a bit of a shortcut to camp.
Hey guys, this track's called Campsite Track, and our mate Sal, you know Sal from Darcy, he reckons this one can be a little bit aggro.
Yeah, well, I know Sal's a motorbike rider, so if he says it's a bit gnarly, that means it's pretty cool for four-wheel drives.
So does he recommend it for a caravan or?
Mate, he specifically said whatever you do, don't take anything that looks like a trailer down it.
Do you think I should get Wolfie out of the tray for safety reasons and get him in the cab?
I don't know, mate. He might be like Jack, he might want to jump straight out when it starts getting gnarly.
I come rolling down the hill into Kings Lake. I saw little Wolfie just sitting out the front of a shop. He looked lonely. So I just had to go over there and pick him up, take him for a ride. And we've been best mates ever since.
And it just started to go off the edge of the world with the guys, going into low range.
Low Range, what a great name.
We should do something on TV called Low Range, eh? I love it when it goes straight off the edge of the world like this, sort of.
I'll tell you what, that track, straight down the hill, looked like it was going to be really hardcore. But I think we were pretty lucky because it was dry. In the wet, that'd be a skateboard. Absolutely terrible.
Oh, it's dropping away.
Yeah, it's a bit of a choice as to which way to go up here, and I'm not sure. We're going to try the right-hand bank. Oh, there goes my biscuits all over the floor. I think I've been jinxed by the handbrake. This is so good, I reckon we ought to turn around and come back up it.
Yeah, righto, mate. You look for a place to turn around for me.
Mate, you won't have to. I reckon the caravan will be in front of the Hilux by the time you get halfway down.
Oh, well, my turn. You down, mate?
Yeah, you'll be right now, mate. Hill descent button.
Yes. Pushed the button.
The Disco should eat this. It's not a heavy truck, and Gleno knows how to point the wheels. I can tell Gleno's confidence in the Disco is just rising all the time.
Oh, not wrong. It's a bit ruddy, doesn't it?
Pretty good though, really. Like, fairly smooth surface and a reasonable amount of traction. There's a lot of rock buried in this stuff.
In saying that, if I was the one towing a caravan down this track, I might be a little more nervous.
Wolfie, I've got a bicky for you. Oh, you didn't catch it.
Well, I could be wrong.
Oh, well, the downhill assist is doing its job.
How am I going to go with the caravan, Gleno?
Mate, you'll be good. I've seen you drive before. All right, Kenno. Well, mate, I'm down.
Hey, Wolfie, you keep an eye on the trailer, mate. Let me know if it's going to tip over.
Yeah, good idea, Kenno. Get the stuffed dog to keep an eye on things for you. He's not too worried.
Oh. How you going, Wolfie? We're going to go down.
Ah, good old Kenno. He's doing really well. That caravan looks right at home.
Be quiet up there, Kenno. What's happening?
I'm just sort of negotiating a few little rutty, holy things. I tell you what, gentlemen, this better be a bloody good campsite. All good back there, Wolfie?
Easy way.
And I think I might be home and hosed.
Good on you, Kenno.
And just when I thought it was going to be a straightforward drive to camp.
This could be a little technical, guys. It certainly looks very narrow. I don't know who cut this, but he wasn't much wider than my Tojo.
Like, difficult to get through, you think?
Not if you're not worried about panel damage or any of that, you know, disco type stuff.
Phew, that's close. It's only a couple of centimetres either side there. Milo's taken a few scrapes in a time, so I'm not too bothered, but I am wondering what the other guys are going to do through here.
This is looking okay. It's a bit steep on the other side. Dry, but except for a bit of a puddle in the bottom. I really like it, just to make sure. Not a lot of room to move in there, Glenn, but you'll be right as long as you don't open your doors.
Okay, mate. I'll just drive it then.
This is not exactly where you want to get stuck in your new disco, or even scrape your van through, and that's if it fits.
Gleno, looks like you're threading the needle there, mate. What's going on?
Mate, this is going to be very interesting, and probably even more interesting for you.
Yeah, mate, you just disappeared. I can't see ya.
Oh, the Land Rover is getting tested out. Really don't feel like scratching it. Woohoo!
Hey guys, do you mind if I pick the campsite next time?
You did pick this one.
Yeah, but I didn't pick the shortcut to get to it. Have a look at the walls each side of this thing. I don't want to lose me motorbike, guys. Are you serious?
Deadly serious, mate.
I don't know how that track was made, but it's like it's been carved away. You can hear those brakes working.
Looking nice, Kenno.
Doesn't feel nice. Oh, there goes me bike rack.
Thanks, coming away.
How's Wolfie? Is he alright?
Wolfie's fine, he's smiling at me. Take it real easy here.
At least I've adjusted the bank a little bit for the next idiot who comes through here with a caravan and a motorbike.
Yeah, mate, it's actually coming away now. It's sort of a bit lifting up.
The XT10 that Kenno's towing is the same width as the Hilux, but the bike rack he's got on the front is a couple of inches wider than the van. Actually, it could be helping his cause and protecting the van a bit, I suppose.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Good work, mate, good work.
Nice machined looking edge on the side of that now, is there? So I've sort of made it caravan friendly now, well at least XT10 friendly.
Pretty soon we've reached camp and it's time to set up. Oh, nice green grass. Gleno's favourite. Setting up camp is so quick these days. You just got to love it. Kenno just kind of flicks the XT10 apart like a pack of cards. Beautiful. My camping's always a bit simpler, but then so am I. What the heck?
Now, this is going to go down really well. Get a load of that. Look at this, guys.
3 great big lumps of beef and something completely different, right? I've only done this a few times. This, as far as I'm concerned, is possibly the world's best product. This is Terry's Spit. Terry from Spit House. He doesn't advertise with us or anything, but Terry's a good bloke. I know that because he drinks beer. Okay, you blokes would like him, I reckon. Now, we're just going to make this up as we go. So call out some ingredients and off we'll go.
I'll say something different, John.
He's quick. Here we go, a little bit of olive oil to start out, I reckon. And then we're going to add oyster sauce. Why not? Just a little bit. You know, like oyster sauce is, oh, look at that, bottle's empty. That's a bit of a bummer. Moving right along, we've got our old favourite, garlic. Whole lot of that one. What do you reckon? All the jar?
Is it ready yet?
I want to add horseradish because it's one of my favourites when it comes to beef. So I'm thinking that with all these really cool tastes, this is going to be the ultimate beef rub. Now, get a load of this stuff. This is something, Vegeta Gourmet Snack, which Salve and the guys from Darchi introduced us to. And they do everything with it. I mean, they rub their potatoes before they chuck them in the fire. And these guys know about flavour, right? They come from Melbourne. Melbourne is the home of stuff like coffee and kebabs and things. So they really know about flavour. And this stuff, you can add it to almost anything and it works an absolute beauty. The only thing it won't do is make a Nissan go fast up a hill. But apart from that, it's unreal. So we'll give this, oh, just a little bit. Oh, and look at that, hey guys? It's looking terrible. And that's exactly what we want. You know what's missing? Some sweet stuff. Kenno, would you mind, mate? Back of my truck, there's a thing of honey in a cardboard box. Yeah, we've got to have some honey in this. There's a little bit of honey. Maybe a bit more. Okay, is this gonna taste great? Yes, it is. I'm going to thread this piece of beef. Thread is such a wonderful word. There we go. See the way I did that blissfully and, you know, obviously knew what I was doing. We'll try it on the table. Look at that. Whooshka. Perfect. Push it down over the spike. And you get the next one on. Now, if you had a chance, if you weren't rushing around getting lost in the bush like we've been doing all day, then you would marinate your meat and let it sit for hours and hours. But there's an alternative to marinating. It's called using lots of.
Painting it.
Painting it on.
Are you a professional painter, John?
How did you know, mate? I know all about the crosshatch. Righto, guys. Now, that goes over there. But first of all, we need the engine for the whole deal. You grab that in, Kenno. You right?
Has that been chipped up, that one?
Turn around. We should be right now, Gleno. There we go.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect fit.
Yep. So, what do we do now?
Well, there's a lot of alternatives. I was thinking a small game of croquet, or possibly we could play bowls. Right. Chess, perhaps. Would you like a game of chess, gentlemen?
I forgot my chessboard.
All right, then we'll just sit down and have a beer for a couple of hours, all right?
Oh, okay. Huh. Well, they must be making the gravy. You beauty. Anyway, I might have a shower before dinner. Oh. Lamb's spinning on the rotisserie, still got an hour or so to go. So I wander into the caravan for a shower. Hello?
Dunno!
What's going on here?
Mate, trying out the amenities. Get that thing out of me face.
How about you just get out of my caravan?
Give me some privacy.
I have a shower.
Mate, just testing it out. I needed to go. I'm sure he did it deliberately. I was going to flick it. I'm the apprentice. Bacon. Because if I didn't put bacon in, John would scream. Now time for the magic mushies. I actually hate mushrooms. This is water. See? Clear. See, look at that.
That looks appetising.
I've been watching you for all these years and I think you just throw everything into the pot. That's the special fluid you're talking about.
Special fluid.
I'm getting drunk just cooking this off the fumes of that coming up.
You're the man. Look at that. Wow. This smells so good. It's just unbelievable.
Oh, John, these spuds look fantastic too, mate. Have a look at that.
Yeah, you got to get lucky sometimes, Kenno.
Mate, sensational.
It's the goods.
Oh, how good is this meat, mate? Look at that.
You can't eat that bit.
We would have.
Just testing.
Just testing.
How is it, Gleno?
You won't like it.
How much can you eat, Glenn? Just a little bit?
Yeah, mate.
Wow. How's that, guys?
Awesome.
Good meal to have in the bush.
Even me shirt likes it.
I'll tell you what, old Terry Spithouse knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
The flavours on that, John,
Yeah.
is amazing. It's like a glazing.
I think you could do almost anything to it, you know? Almost anything, and it would work.
Well, after that plateful, I reckon we'll sleep pretty well.
Hey, Milo, we can do this, baby. Okay, I got my rear locker on right from the bottom because it looks very skittish. As I drove up to the hill, I was telling the guys I felt really confident, but I didn't. Strange feeling, but I knew something was going to go wrong.